Hello, my dear students of Standard 10. Here I am to take your chemistry class. Welcome to my class. Today our topic is preparation and uses of different chemicals used for cleanliness, soap and detergent. Last class also I have explained some cleaning reagents that are washing soda and toilet cleaner. And today our topic is soap and detergent. Soap. All you know about soap. Soap is used for cleaning our body while bathing and also for cleaning the clothes. But do you know this soap is a chemical substance? Actually, soap is the sodium salt or potassium salt of higher fatty acid. That means soap is the salt of fatty acid and the fatty acid has higher carbon number. When sodium salt of higher fatty acid, then its formula is RCOONA, and when the soap is potassium salt of higher fatty acid, then its formula is RCOOK. Here R is the alkyl radical, and all you know the general formula of R is CnH2n plus 1. Since the soap is the salt of higher fatty acid, so here carbon number is 12 to 18. Look, we use the soap, that is the soap of stearic acid, and these are sodium stearate where the carbon number is 17, C17H35 COONA, and potassium stearate, that is C17H35 COOK. Now some pictures of soap are this. Now preparation of soap. How soap is prepared in industry. This soap also you can prepare in laboratory. To prepare soap, we need sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide and oil or fat. To make sodium soap, we need sodium hydroxide as a base and it reacts with oil or fat. And to make potassium soap, we need potassium hydroxide as a base and it reacts with oil or fat. When soap is produced by the reaction of base and oil or fat, then not only soap is produced. With soap, glycerin is also produced. Here, glycerin is the byproduct of soap. Here, glycerin is also collected from there and it is also marketed. Now, the procedure by which soap and glycerin is produced from sodium hydroxide or potassium hydroxide and oil or fat, this procedure is known as saponification. So, the reaction here, sodium hydroxide base, it reacts with, this is fat or oil, and it produces sodium soap, sodium salt of higher fatty acid, and also glycerin. Look, this glycerin is an alcohol because there is hydroxyl group present. But there are 3 hydroxyl groups, so it is trihydric alcohol. Here, sodium hydroxide reacts with fat or oil and produce soap and glycerin. Now, the products soap and glycerin are mixed together. To separate soap from the mixture, sodium chloride is added. When sodium chloride is added in the mixture of soap and glycerin, glycerin stays at the bottom of the pot, but soap gathers around sodium chloride and floats up. Now this soap is filtered and makes soaps of different sizes. Classifications of soap. Based on use of soap, soap is mainly of two types: toilet soap and laundry soap. Toilet soap. Toilet soap is the soap that is used for cleaning our skin. And what is laundry soap? The soap that is used for washing our clothes is called laundry soap. Now, examples of soap. Already we have learned one soap, that is soap of stearic acid, and this is sodium stearate or potassium stearate. So, this is also an example of soap, sodium stearate. It is the soap of stearic acid. Look, stearic acid is obtained from the animal bodies, from the fat of animal bodies, and this stearic acid is saturated fatty acid. And another kind of soap that is produced from oleic acid, C17H33COOH. This oleic acid is obtained from olive oil, and it is an unsaturated fatty acid because here carbon-carbon double bond is present. Now, the quantity of alkali and other bad stuff is more in laundry soap, and also there is no scent added here. But the quantity of alkali and other bad stuff is less in toilet soap, and also there is scent or antibacterial materials are added. Now, detergent. All you know about detergent. Detergent is also a cleaning reagent that is used to clean our clothes. Detergent is also a cleaning material like soap. Detergent usually looks like powder, and it is also available in liquid form. The chemical name of detergent is sodium lauryl sulfate, and its formula is C12H25SO4Na. That means detergent, it is found in powder form, it is available in powder form, but it is also found in liquid form. Look, there are some pictures of detergent. It is the detergent of powder form, and also detergent is found in this type of container in liquid form. Now, preparation of detergent. How detergent is prepared? To prepare detergent, we need lauryl alcohol, sulfuric acid, and sodium hydroxide. These three things are needed to prepare detergent. And to prepare detergent, two-step reaction is occurred. At first step, sulfuric acid reacts with lauryl alcohol, and here lauryl hydrogen sulfate is produced with water. Now this lauryl hydrogen sulfate is separated and it reacts with sodium hydroxide. Here sodium hydroxide reacts with lauryl hydrogen sulfate and it produces sodium lauryl sulfate and water. This sodium lauryl sulfate is known as detergent. Now look the reaction. The reaction will make you more clear about this. Look, lauryl alcohol at first reacts with sulfuric acid. Now when lauryl alcohol reacts with sulfuric acid, then water is produced by the reaction. How? Water is produced from hydroxyl group of alcohol and hydrogen ion of sulfuric acid. So when this hydroxyl and one hydrogen of sulfuric acid make water, then the residue portion will be C12H25 HSO4. But here H we will not write in the middle, so we will write SO4H. This is lauryl hydrogen sulfate. Now in second step, lauryl hydrogen sulfate reacts with sodium hydroxide. Here also water is produced. How? Now water is produced from this hydroxyl group of sodium hydroxide and hydrogen of L'Oreal hydrogen sulfate. These two make water and the residue portion will be C12H25SO4Na. This is sodium L'Oreal sulfate and this sodium L'Oreal sulfate is known as detergent. Now, different types of materials are added to detergent in order to make it usable. For example, sodium sulfate is added to detergent in order to make it powder shape. Now, cleaning mechanism of soap and detergent, the most important part of this lecture. How soap and detergent clean the clothes. The main work of soap or detergent is to remove oil and dust from clothes through washing with water. Now, when soap or detergent is given into water, then soap and detergent both are dissociated, and they are dissociated in the following ways. Like so, when soap is given into water, it is dissociated to negative acetate ion and positive sodium ion. Detergent also, when detergent is given into water, it is dissociated into L'Oreal sulfate, this negative ion, and sodium ion, positive ion. Now look, soap and detergent both are dissociated into solution to give anionic part, that is acetate ion or L'Oreal sulfate ion, and cationic part, that is sodium ion. Now look, this anionic part of soap, that is hydrophilic. That means this anionic part is attracted by water. So these are called hydrophilic part, and these are the head of soap and detergent. This anionic part is the head of soap and detergent, and this cationic part, sodium ion, this is hydrophobic part. That means this part is repelled by water, and this cationic part, it is the head of soap or detergent. Now, when soap or detergent gets come in contact with oily or greasy dirt of clothes in the presence of water, the hydrophobic part is attracted by the oil or grease and dissolved in it. On the other hand, hydrophilic part extends to the water layer. Look, when soap or detergent gets come in contact with oily or greasy dirt of cloths, then they are dissociated into anionic part, that means hydrophilic part, and cationic part, that are hydrophobic part. This hydrophobic part, that means sodium ion, it is dissolved into oil or grease because this part is hydrophobic. This is repelled by water, but this part is attracted by oil or grease. And the hydrophilic part, that means anionic part, it extends to the water layer. Now, when we clean the cloth, then what we do? We rub or twist the cloths. So, when these cloths are rubbed or twisted, the particles of oily or greasy dirt are completely covered by the negatively charged ion of soap or detergent, and a ring of negatively charged ion is formed around the particles of oily or greasy dirt. Now look, this sodium ion, that means cationic part, this part is dissolved into oil or grease, and it wants to stay at a maximum possible distance from water. But the anionic part, this part is attracted by water, so all the cationic part dissolved into oil or grease are surrounded by the anionic hydrophilic part. Then they want to stay at a possible maximum distance and form a mixture of oil, soap and water. This mixture is known as scum. Oil and dusts are washed away with this scum, thus soap washed away dirt. Now look, I will show you some picture. This picture will, and also I will show you a video. This picture and video will make you more clear about the mechanism of soap and detergent. Look, suppose this is soap, this is hydrophilic part, that means anionic part. This is the head of soap and this is hydrophobic part. This is the tail of soap. When soap is given into water and cloths are given there, then all the hydrophobic part, these are dissolved into this oil and they are surrounded by the hydrophilic anionic part. Look, all the tail and there is hydrophobic tail and there is oil or dirt, and the hydrophilic part, these are covered, these cover the oil or dirt or hydrophobic part. Now I will show you a video. Observe this.
Each molecule is composed of a long, non-polar hydrocarbon chain, which is hydrophobic in nature, and a short polar head, which is hydrophilic in nature. The hydrophilic end is attracted by water molecules, whereas the hydrophobic end of the molecule is repelled by water, but is attracted by non-polar substances like oil. The cleaning action of detergents and soaps is attributed to this special feature. Have you ever wondered how soaps and detergents work to get rid of dirt and grime? Here's how. Dirt or grime generally has an oily component. Water cannot dissolve oil, and hence water by itself cannot take away dirt. This is where soap or detergent comes of use. Dirty clothes are soaked in water containing soap or detergent. When detergent or soap molecules come in contact with the oil or dirt on the fabric, the non-polar portion of such molecules attaches itself to that bit of grime or oil. Over time, more and more detergent molecules gather around it, and a micelle is formed with the oil or dirt inside it. A micelle is a ball-shaped collection of detergent or soap molecules with the hydrocarbon ends clumped together on the inside and the polar heads on the outside. Eventually, through either agitation or stirring of water or rubbing, these micelles are lifted off from the fabric surface and get into the wash water. Remember that because of the charge on the heads of the detergent molecules, the outer surface of the micelle is charged. Since these micelles all have similar charges, they repel each other and remain suspended in the water. These get removed when the water is drained off. Repeated rinsing and wringing remove all such micelles and make laundry crispy clean.
Okay, I think now you are clear about the mechanism of soap and detergent. I am telling again the mechanism. Look, here all the cationic tail of soap or detergent, that means sodium ion, is dissolved into oil or grease and want to stay at a maximum possible distance from water. But anionic head of soap is present in water, so they make a ring surrounding cationic tail, which is dissolved into oil or grease. And in this condition, at one time, oil and dusts make scum with soap and water and washed away from the cloth. Now, differences between soap and detergent. Soap is sodium or potassium salt of long carbon chained fatty acids. This is the definition of soap also. Detergent is sodium salt of long carbon benzene sulfonic acid. This is the definition of detergent. Soap cannot act well on hard water or salt water. You know about this. You have read it in your chapter 9. That soap cannot make enough foam in hard water, and detergent can act well on hard water or salt water as well. Soap has less cleaning capacity than detergent. Detergent has more cleaning capacity than soap. Now I will highlight the 2-number point again. Look, why soap cannot act well on hard water or salt water. You know what is hard water. In hard water, different types of calcium and magnesium salt are dissolved. So when soap is used in hard water, it does not make foam easily because it at first reacts with the soluble calcium or magnesium salt of hard water and makes them insoluble. So more soap is wasted in hard water. What is happening there? When soap is used in hard water, then at first soap reacts with the soluble calcium salt in water and it makes sodium chloride and calcium stearate. This calcium stearate is insoluble. But detergent does not react with the salt of hard water. So, detergent can make foam easily with hard water. More detergent is not used here. Bad effects of using excess soap and detergent. There are alkali in the soap. If soap is used excessively, its alkali affects hands. Alkali is used for making soap and it is also present in soap. So, excessive use of soap affects our hands. If clothes are washed on the banks of ponds, rivers, then soap scum reacts with the dissolved oxygen in water and reduces the quantity of the oxygen dissolved into it. That means the DO value of water will be reduced for using excessive soap into water. And for the lacking of oxygen, aquatic plants and fishes die and the water becomes polluted. And detergent contains trisodium phosphate, a chemical that works as a good fertilizer for plants to live. As a result, plants grow excessively and use the dissolved oxygen in water, and fishes die because of the lack of oxygen. Here also, for the excessive growing of plants, dissolved oxygen, that means DO value of water is reduced and fishes die because of the lack of oxygen. In the above ways, excess use of detergent pollute water. Now, use of toiletries. We use toiletries to retain beauty of our skin, to clean our skin, hair and other purposes. So, while preparing these toiletries, we should careful about its pH. Do you know what is the pH value of our skin? The pH of our skin is 4.8 to 5.5. That means the skin has an acidic nature. And if the pH of these toiletries is more than 5.5, its use reduces the acidity of our skin, which results damage the beauty of our skin. So, while making toiletries, one should careful about the pH of it. Now, today up to this. Thank you everyone. Goodbye everyone.